Hello everybody, my name is Anthony Metzger. I'm a winemaker and a sommelier. Here at Wines of the World, I Skype and record interviews with winemakers from around the world. On today's episode of Wines of the World, I am joined by Natalie, a winemaker from California. She is joining me live via Skype from California to talk with me a little bit about wine, culture, and travel.
Hello.
Hey Natalie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. So you're a winemaker and you've made wine in New Mexico, of all places. What was that like?
So I moved there because of a love interest.
Okay.
And I had just graduated from college with a wine degree.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you did study wine in college. What did you study, like winemaking or viticulture?
I concentrated in wine business.
Okay.
So Cal Poly has three, you can study, emphasize in wine business, viticulture, or enology.
Okay.
And so you take your group, like, 7 classes or whatever for that, but
Sure.
then the whole major takes enology courses, the viticulture series. So I got hired at a place in Paso Robles, California.
Okay.
And I was living in San Luis Obispo. They're about 30 miles apart.
Okay.
And I got hired right away for production. And it was like an 80,000, 100,000 case winery that operated like they were 10,000 case winery.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was really cool, but it was just the thing I needed.
Yeah, nice. And you didn't have to be 21 to work in the cellar?
No.
But in the vineyard, no.
They fudged a little bit. It was a very relaxed place,
Okay,
you know.
sure, a little more laid back. Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever heard it takes a lot of beer to make wine?
Yes, I've heard that quote.
Yes, that is very true.
They followed that. They followed that quote, huh?
Exactly.
Right.
So it was really cool. It was just, you dove right in, and we were receiving like so many tons for like, I don't know, 8 people in production. Maybe we were all the same age. We had all the same interests, and the boss referred to us as like my rock star team. It was so cool. Just like I felt like just a newborn baby. Like,
oh wow! And this was your first experience working in the cellar making wine, and you weren't even graduated by then. This is just part of your studies. I was 20, just about to turn 21. Okay.
I turned 21 when I worked there.
Sure.
It was really fun.
What was it like, showing up at the winery on the first day to make wine, and yet you've had no experience besides in the classroom? What is that like, showing up at the winery for the first time?
How's best to describe it? You're kind of thrown into it.
Sure.
You're a little bit like, am I doing this okay? But I'm highly inquisitive, and I like to do a good job.
Yeah.
And it's not rocket science, and you're a glorified janitor, I feel like.
Oh, really? Like as a cellar worker?
That's just my opinion.
And how so?
You're cleaning up so you can make a mess and then clean it up again.
Sure, yeah.
So I think we did, I don't know, some yeast additions. I mixed yeast up. I got yeast all over my shoes. I wore some Converse All-Stars.
Yeah.
And I just ruined that pair right away. I was like, okay, I got time to get
Gotta get some boots, yeah.
Boots that have some bit of waterproofness to it.
Of course, yeah.
I feel like as a winemaker and harvest, your feet are just wet all day.
Oh, that's true, yes. Yeah. Nice. So that was your first experience in the winery, and obviously I'm guessing you liked it. You enjoyed it very much. And did you learned a lot then too, yeah?
Oh, just everything. You read about it in a book, but then when it's there in front of you, you're looking at the grapes and kind of like, okay, so this is what a Syrah grape looks like.
Sure.
That's what the Syrah Racus looks like. And oh man, there's a lot of
different than looking at it in a book, huh?
Oh yeah, it's just very real, and you just don't know how sticky and wet you're gonna be, and how heavy everything is, but you're having fun while you're doing it. And so it was great.
So after your experience there in that winery, then you went back to college because you still hadn't graduated. So then you continued your studies. Mm-hmm. And then after college, you graduate. Then what did you do?
New Mexico.
That's when you went to New Mexico.
Now we're going back to our New Mexico part of it.
Okay.
And,
but you said you were chasing some love there too, huh? You had somebody. Okay.
Yes, but I had researched beforehand that there were wineries in New Mexico.
Okay. So
New Mexico is the oldest growing wine region in the United States.
New Mexico is.
Yes.
Over Virginia.
The Spaniards.
Okay.
They were here before. So Santa Fe has been a capital city for 400 years.
Okay.
And so when the priests came, they planted their vines. You know, it's a lot of, I think mission grapes and nothing we make wine with here today. And those vineyards still aren't around, but they left like kind of their imprint.
Okay.
That's what got me.
Nice. What was it about working in New Mexico at a winery that kind of surprised you or took you by surprise that you didn't really expect going in? Because you had worked in California, so you obviously had some expectations, but then you got there and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a second, this or that or that. What kind of stood out to you?
I think we're talking about the weather. Going back to the weather.
Yeah.
You'd have a sunny day. The apple trees are all blooming.
Yeah.
Think about wearing flip-flops, and overnight you've got 6 inches of snow.
Jeez Louise! Wow.
What?
Well, where would you like to go if you could go anywhere in the world and do a harvest? Where would you like to go in the world and make some wine?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah. I would love to do this everywhere. I think I would like to go, see some new world in another country.
Yeah.
I traveled to Italy recently.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I explored Tuscany just kind of as a wine taster. I would like to see it kind of in the back. All that. The one winery I went to, their theme was like 1 foot firmly planted in the past and 1 in the future.
Oh, really? Okay. If you could drink a bottle or have a bottle of wine from history, any wine ever from history, or even it could be current day, and you could drink it with anybody living or from the past, what wine would you drink and who would you drink it with?
Okay, I've been thinking about this all day.
Okay.
Because I looked at the answers and I thought it was a great question.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so my initial reaction. This is very silly. I've got 2 answers.
Okay.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay, Daenerys Targaryen, and I would like to drink some wine with her.
Okay.
And I would bring her a Riesling. I don't have a specific brand to tell you.
Sure.
I figured we could drink about that and talk about dragons and ruling countries.
So you'd meet with the character instead of the actress.
Yes. Yes. While we're being, fanciful about it.
Sure.
But then my second answer, if we're going with somebody who is actually a person, I would go with Cleopatra.
Okay.
And I would drink a wine of her time. Because I know it probably wouldn't taste so good to my palate now. You
might be surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've heard they.
What would you talk to her about?
Oh, what it's like to live in the times. What it's like to be a ruler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anything, so many things.
Everything. It's about these fanboys here.
Nice.
I don't know. True about her religion and the way the world is at that time. You know.
Sure.
So
okay. Nice. And you actually, before we leave, you said you were getting into infusions.
Yes.
You want to experiment with infusions or whatnot?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that a bit.
Okay. Medical marijuana in California is legal.
Yep.
And I have a 215 card. And I've had friends that have run bakery businesses.
Okay.
And so they've talked about, infusing marijuana with butter.
Okay.
And that's kind of turned into with the dispensaries and the legalization in Colorado. You've just seen so many infusion products out there.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested in craft beverages, local craft beverages. I like to drink wine and beer and local pressed juices and anything. And I dabbled in beer making. My
Yep.
boyfriend got me a beer making kit.
Nice.
And we happened to have some fresh marijuana cuttings.
Yep.
And we were using like a shaker box to get some keef, it's called. It's like the THC that falls through the screen.
Okay.
And we kind of thought, how about, it's all about like how can you, transfer the THC into an edible form that you can consume.
Sure.
And there's a theory of thought that you have to heat it up to 230 degrees to kind of like release the carbon and then make it available form.
Okay.
So I didn't do it with this, and that's kind of another experiment I kind of want to like go into.
Sure.
And that's why I love winemaking. It's part science, part sensory, part cooking, and all that. So I made some beer, and I had like different grams that I like threw in. Mm-hmm. And I found it took a long time for it to work on you, and it just brought this like incredible body relaxation and not hallucinogenic. Mm-hmm. But there's been some local. I always thought it would be fun. My favorite beverage is rosé.
Okay.
And I just always thought it would be the coolest thing to have a weed rosé. And I was just talking about, how can you get it into the wine? How can you, because the keef into the beer, while my beer bottle tops didn't pop, that's not stable. That's, you kind of think there's bacteria in there. And it's like, do you ferment the marijuana, with the grapes? And I'm like, that gives a good color, kind of an off vegetal flavor. And so I've been then messing around. I didn't know if we'd talk about this, but I've been, this is like my shake, my like leftover clippings that I infused with some high proof from like local distillery. Sure. And so I don't know. I would not want to drink all of this, but experimenting with, putting various milliliters into a glass of wine and then how it affects the body.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, have you tried this yet? But I mean, done the mix. You said you've done the beer.
I've done the mix like right here in my glass.
So just like that. Okay. But you're looking at more of infusing during the winemaking process. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, but this is like the second thought actually, is you add this pre-filtration. Okay. So it's not, so it takes on as minimal as a flavor.
Yeah, so you want that to be as neutral as possible, and also color too, kind of, and then just kind of mix it in throughout the process. Yeah.
I think to be a good winemaker, you have to be continually evolving, looking for new trends or new ideas, or looking at old ideas, and like just always kind of. Every vintage is different year to year, so your methods have to be a little different.
Nice. All right. Well, Natalie, thanks for sharing the stories and your experiences and whatnot. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Wines of the World. Make sure you check in next week as I will be interviewing another winemaker. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask a winemaker during any of my interviews, just reach out to me through my social media accounts, which you can find on my website, winesoftheworld.info. Be sure to check my website tomorrow and every single day of this week, as I will be releasing some really fun, interesting wine stories. Thank you, and please be sure to subscribe.